government are talking about bringing in their own visa to meet the skills demand, the low-skilled one. Is that something that you would support?
Well, the Australian government conducts visas in this country in terms of migration, and that hasn't changed. But we want to work with all of the state and territory governments. I'll ask Brendan to make some comments on this as well. But we will have, the day before the Jobs and Skills Summit, we'll have a meeting of the National Cabinet. I've already had constructive discussions about this, including with Dominic Perrottet, and I know that all of the state and territory governments are concerned about the skills shortages. They're a handbrake on business activity. And Daniel Andrews and Dominic Perrottet both wrote to me a little while ago, and that's part of the context of having the Jobs and Skills Summit. But I might ask Brendan to comment.
Thanks, Prime Minister. Well, as the Prime Minister indicated, we're talking to state and territory governments about a whole series of things. Firstly, we're looking at creating the agreement that should have been struck June 30 last year under the previous federal government. It didn't happen. So we're speaking with the skills ministers of all jurisdictions, state and territory, to make sure we get a compact so that we know how we can invest in our existing labour market and make sure we're delivering the skills that employers need. That's the first thing we need to do. Insofar as skilled migration is concerned, we know how important that is to employers. It's not a binary choice. We do understand how important it is, and that's why my ministerial colleagues, Claire O'Neill and Andrew Giles, are working very hard, firstly, to unclog the visa application process so we can accelerate those visas in need in the areas of acute skill shortage needs. And of course, we're looking at other requirements too. So we are engaged in skilled migration pathways, but we are very clear it's also about investing in our own workforce. It's the combination of making sure we've got skilled migration pathways and a vet sector and a university sector and, frankly, a school sector that's delivering the skills to our labour market is the key, that partnership, and that will be subject of very lengthy conversations at the Skills Summit. We've had many conversations already, as the Prime Minister indicated, and from my conversations with employer bodies, unions, civil society and others, I understand there's a overlapping interest in these areas. There's a common purpose, there's a sense of goodwill, and I believe in the national interest we'll see some very good outcomes arising out of the summit.